My name is Mariano Conti. I work for Maker on Oracle's smart contracts, backend services, a whole bunch of things. And today I want to give you guys a look back on the past year and couple of months ever since we launched single collateral Dai and where we are at the moment. So in case you don't know, Dai is a stablecoin, asset-backed hard currency, soft-pegged to a USD, which means essentially that one Dai equals $1 US. And it is created when you lock up a valuable asset, in this case, Ether, into a smart contract. And we call this a CDP. We launched Dai on December 17, 2017. We had an initial debt ceiling of 50 million. We then raised it to 100. And we launched when the price of Ether was around $800, and those were the happy days. The price went up to 1,400, if you remember, and down to 85. And Dai never lost its peg, so we're very, very proud about it. I'm going to show you this. I did this yesterday, so it has really no design, no logos, no anything, but these are just like the ego numbers. It's the stuff that everybody likes to talk about, and just going to give you a quick overview. Hopefully this is still, I'm just going to refresh just in case. And you're going to see that the block and the hash are updating in a second, just to see that this is all coming from the blockchain, right? There's 78,270,000 Dai. Like, this is a new record every single day. And if you look at the second number, that's the total amount of ETH in existence. And the third number is the amount of ETH locked into our smart contracts, over 2,051,000. And that represents almost 2% of all ETH in existence locked up in our smart contracts, 1.956, and growing. To give this some perspective, the total amount of wrapped Ether, it's over 2,200,000. That's the ERC20 version of Ether. So it's like what most people use to interact with other dApps. Well, 92% of all the wrapped Ether is locked up in MakerDAO CDPs. And the last numbers is just the amount of MKR that's already in the burner that was paid via stability fees. So essentially, when we burn those 540 Maker, everybody who holds the MKR token will see their value increase a little bit. There's now like 273,000 worth of MKR in the burner. And you can go to daistats.com and look at this whenever you want. So this is my favorite tweet of all time. It's from Afri from Parity. This is essentially what Dai is. We strive for stability, right? And I'm going to talk about, the rest of my talk is probably going to be just like use cases, talking about the community, how they are using Dai, how they are integrating the stuff that we're building. So this is, when Afri started the Girly testnet, they got a grant for over $50,000, and they requested it to be in Dai, and you can see it in the multisig. And when I asked him why, he said, well, it's predictable. I know how much money I have if I get it in ETH or in another token. I cannot really know how much money I'm going to have tomorrow. It could be more. Of course, it could be less. Like the talk right before, Gitcoin. Dai is number 2 right now and growing every day. I believe that for people to actually work in open source and work on these bounties, if they have a predictable amount that they're going to get, then they're more likely to take on these issues. And do you remember this one? The YOLO tweet when Vitalik gave, the non-giver of ETH gave 1,000 ETH. Well, he also gave it to Chainsafe systems. And the amazing thing was, I sent some unsolicited advice telling them, how about you change some of that into Dai so you can know how much you have. It's not going to change tomorrow. It's not going to go up. It's not going to go down. You can measure. You can hire people. You can know that you have so much for salary, so much for infrastructure. They told me, oh, way ahead of you. We already did that. Show me the multi-sig. It was done. They traded it all for Dai. And, well, they're here, by the way, around, so ask them. They're over there. They're one of the coolest teams around working. So as you can see, the price of ETH, like in this case, the moment they changed it, it started going up, sadly. But it could have just as easily gone down. Like, this is what actually happened. But this is what was happening a couple of months before. So you never know. That's why I always say, if you want to do something with open source, with other developers, please try to use Dai for this. This is one of my favorite tweets. Alex van de Sande saying that the Ethereum Foundation is paying people in Dai, and he was the first person in the foundation to get paid in Dai. And this is very cool, but of course, the people at Maker, we've been getting paid in Sai, which was the alpha version of Dai, since around June 2017. And we've been dogfooding ever since. And the moment we launched Dai, a lot of us started getting paid our salaries in that. And I don't know if you knew, but Aragon, they opened the CDP, they over-collateralized by a whole bunch, like 415% at that time. I don't know how much it is right now. But it's amazing to see other projects in the community use the tools that we're creating to actually get some value out of it. Because you don't want to spend your ETH right now. Like, if we're all here, if we all believe in this project, it's because we know the price is going to go up. So one way you can actually protect your Ether and not use it is to borrow some amount of Dai against it with the expectation that it's going to go up. Of course, this is a bet, right? It's not guaranteed to happen, but if you're here, it's because you believe that the price is not, it's going to go back to what it was, hopefully. And this is me yesterday with Makoto from Kickback, asking him to incorporate Dai. I don't know if you've used Kickback for your events, but it's really amazing, and it only accepts ETH. And when I told him, he said, you're the only person that asks me to incorporate Dai into my platform. So this is like a public shaming. If you want to incorporate, if you want to pay with Dai, there's Makoto. Ask him later. Thank you. I want to talk about a really cool project called MakerScan. It is made by two brothers from India. They're 21 and 19. It's like EtherScan, but for Maker CDPs. And they've got such a great insight into what is going on with the system. And the other day, one of the brothers tweeted something that really resonated. It's like, who says DeFi is complicated? I'm 19 years old. He's been in DeFi even before trying out traditional financial systems. This is someone who probably has never opened a savings account. Well, maybe a savings account, but a checking account. They don't know what it is. They hopefully will never know. They're growing up with these new technologies that we're building. And they're saying it is not complicated. It's what I'm growing up with. This is what encourages me to go on and say that we're on the right path. Of course, we've seen stuff like Balance Wallet that's coming up with CDP integration and even vanity CDPs. This is Richard Burton buying CDP number 420. Then very appropriate since we're in Colorado. But he promises, he doesn't smoke weed, but he promises whoever deposits ETH into that CDP, he will use it to buy medicinal products for folks in need. So this is one of the stuff that's also coming out, and it's growing organically out of the community. Of course, XDAI, Austin Griffith, he's around somewhere. I haven't been able to say hi yet. He built the burner wallet, and also most of the infrastructure that's going on right now in your wallets with Buffy Dai that you hopefully already used to buy food outside. This is all powered by the XDAI chain that was built by POA, who are also around here, using parity technology, has 5-second block times. Native token is XDAI, which is that. So you pay your gas with a stable token that's worth the amount in dollars. So you know that you're paying your gas in cents that are always going to be the same. It's not like you deployed a smart contract right now for X amount of ETH, and then next year, it's probably enough to buy, I don't know, something cool. And MakerDAO is one of the validators, so we're very happy with this technology, and you're using it right now with the burner wallet. As you can see, everything I showed, or most of the stuff I showed, is stuff that's coming from the community, not from ourselves. We're building the platform, and we're expecting everybody to build on top of it. So I didn't show any UIs built by us, not the first ones, which were not very good, but the latest ones are really, really amazing. But you can use Dai for charity. You can use it for sports betting on CryptoCup. You can lend it on Compound. You can spend it on Bidali by buying gift cards. You can use Wire for on and off ramps. There's a whole bunch of things that you can do with it. And if you go to GitHub, MakerDAO, awesome MakerDAO, you will find so many cool things that you can do with Dai. And the list goes on. Please find us at our booth later. So I want to sum up by saying that Dai Credit System is a platform. It's not a, it is a platform. You build on top of it. And you worry about your product, and we will handle the stability. That's like the Maker promise. I just want to shield my Oracles panel tomorrow, because there's another one that's, I think, a little bit more interesting happening at the same time. But if it's full, then please come to mine. And I also want to mention that we have some cool bounties. You can go to cardi.io. I don't know, you'll find more info there. But there's prizes in Dai for improving the burner wallet, or create a new lending platform, or work on the stuff that Aztec's protocol is coming up with the zero-knowledge proofs. And I'm going fast because I want to leave a couple of minutes for questions, if that's possible. If you want to ask economic questions, I'm not the right guy. You can ask them. If I don't know them, I'll just say so. These are all people from the community. They do not work for Maker. I'm forgetting people, but they are really, really amazing at understanding what goes behind the scenes, what the relationship is between Ether, MKR, and Dai. I suggest you follow them, and you will better understand what our system is. I do want to have like one slide for multi-collateral Dai, which we're working on. So there's going to be, of course, many valuable assets other than Ether that you can borrow against. The smart contracts, the core system is going to be formally verified. And it's coming very soon. I cannot give a date yet, but I promise that we're going to be working hard to get it done. And I do have one final message. This took me a while to get it done, but I got it done just before flying from Buenos Aires. I just want a quick raise of hands if you have ever opened a CDP. Wow, this is actually a very nice number. So this is the message from a very special someone. It goes like this. Hi, ETHDenver. Happy hacking, stay healthy, and never blow up your collateral. But if you do, it's not the end of the world. Cheers from CDP 3228. And if you do not know it, 3228 is one of the ballsiest CDPs around, always risking liquidation. Had one a while ago, and is sort of a hero in the community that follows CDPs. So you, of course, do not have to trust me that this is the real message, but that's the message. That's the signed message, and it resolves, of course, to the owner of CDP 3228. You can verify it over there. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm here for you. We love you. Thank you.
Hi. Like many of us here, I had lunch recently and used the Buffy Dai. Could you maybe just unpack what's happening there a little bit more for us, just sort of behind the scenes transactionally and just about that stablecoin?
Okay. So the XDAI chain, there's a bridge between mainnet and the XDAI chain where you lock up Dai in a smart contract, and it is locked there and it is minted in the other chain. So let's say you have 100 Dai, you put it in the bridge, and then you create it on the other side. And now you have 100 XDAI that's a native token to that blockchain. You can transact it like we're doing here. Buffy Dai is a special version, so it is an ERC20 version built on the XDAI chain, but it's also linked 1-1 to XDAI. So the gas costs are minimal. It's in like not even a penny. It's like fractions of that. And the idea is to have a token for everybody to transact here and to see if this experiment works. Like we've seen the Lightning Network and what's been done with that, and we think that this is a very cool Ethereum version of it.
Any other questions for Mariano? Would you please come here?
This is an economic question, so apologies. But there was a flash crash in Ethereum in 2017, quite a notable one.
In Coinbase, right? GDAX?
Well, I guess it affected everyone in the end. What do you do in a situation like that? How do CDPs then?
Okay, so if I remember correctly, the flash happened only on GDAX, right? And the way our oracles work for the price, we get the prices from many different sources, and then we aggregate those prices in mainnet. So even if the price of GDAX crashed, we were getting the prices from there and other exchanges. So our oracles never really cared about it. It's just they figured it was an outlier and they just removed it. So we didn't have any problems there. And I'm going to be talking about oracles more in depth tomorrow at the panel.
Is there recommended tools or for those of us who want to automate the management of CDPs?
I don't think we have any that we've made ourselves, but I'm pretty sure MakerScan has some kind of at least alerts, and there's stuff that's coming. I'm forgetting the project names, but hit me up later. But there's people that are coming up with projects to do like one-click 3x leverage, stuff like keep my CDP always collateralized at 250%. So if the price is going down, add more collateral to it. If the price is going up, borrow more from it. So you're going to be seeing a lot more this coming months, and hopefully somebody can hack something like that this weekend.
Cool, thank you.
Yep. Using Dai.js, of course, our amazing library built in Node.
Anybody else, guys? Back there, maybe? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, thank you very much.